What's good? What's good, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of The Urban Platform Speaks. Make sure to like and subscribe as you tune into the channel and check out the content. And with that being said, man, I want to speak on Tyrese Haliburton. I, Game 6 is coming on tonight. This is Thursday, right? So Game 6, as a matter of fact, it's about to start. But I want to speak on Tyrese Haliburton. I know he's having some type of soft tissue type injury. I'm not sure if it's a calf or a hamstring, right? But that's not really what I want. I want to speak about his injury, right? I want to speak about, like, no matter what happens in this series or what happens tonight with Game 6, I think Tyrese Haliburton really needs to win a ring. And the more and more and the reason I think that Tyrese needs to win a ring is because Tyrese kind of put a target on his back, right? As long as the Indiana Pacers are winning, Tyrese Haliburton is what some people might call like a front runner, like, like the celebration and stuff like this. Right here you see Tyrese Haliburton, doing the giving the choking signal when they beat when they won a game earlier this during this playoffs against New York. And it's celebrations like this that I think really puts a target on his back. And I kind of want to, like, remind him that he's he's imitating a guy who don't have a ring, right? And Reggie Miller is the one who did that choking sign, and he did it against New York also, right? But the thing is, Reggie Miller never wound up winning a ring. And I think that winning a ring and getting a championship is it just takes a lot of focus, right? And so the time that Tyrese Haliburton spends worrying about imitating Reggie Miller, who, again, like I said, had a Hall of Fame, career, but didn't wind up winning the ring. And so he need to really be focusing on getting that ring and doing everything he need to do in order to get this ring. And some things that Reggie Miller did, he may not want to imitate because that didn't lead to Reggie Miller getting a ring. Now I know, like I said earlier, Tyrese has this injury, and I don't know. Even if I don't really think that they're going to be able to beat OKC, and even if Tyrese didn't have this injury, I just think that OKC really have their number, and that'll remain to be seen. The series is not over yet. You know what I mean? The Pacers could come back and win it, although I don't think so. I think, I'm gonna go out on a limb and say I think that the Pacers close. I mean, the Thunder close this out tonight in Oklahoma. And so if they don't close it out, then I'll just come back and make another video, just saying that I was wrong. But I think that they're gonna close it out tonight. But this is, I did a show with some of my co-hosts, on the weekends, and we spoke about the celebrations, the type of celebrations that Tyrese he do. And a lot of times, like I said, it's nothing wrong with celebrating. All the greats did it when they won, but if you celebrate in a way that kind of like shows up your opponent, those are the kind of celebrations I don't think that I don't think they look good. Even when you win, I think in the long run, those type of celebrations don't age well because you want to be seen as somebody who is somebody who's like a graceful type winner. Like when Kobe spoke about the game, and or Magic or Bird or one of those guys, when they speak about the game, like, they look better doing it because they never rub their opponent's face in it. Like sometimes I watched LeBron James like on the sideline, and they, when they were winning, and they doing all different kind of antics on the sideline, which I thought on their bench, which I thought was like disrespectful, like flipping the bottle and trying to get the bottle to land, like, like straight up and stuff like that. I thought those kind of celebrations was disrespectful to their opponents and disrespectful to the game, right? And so those are the kind of celebrations that I don't think you want to do. I think those type of celebrations, they just put they put a larger target on your back. And then so if you do lose, then that people want to rub your loss in your face that much more. You put more pressure on yourself because you know that with those type of celebrations, it's like bulletin board type material, So even in victory, you have to be careful of the way you celebrate because that puts a target on you, and with that target on you, uh, it's just more pressure. And only a select few people have been able to, like, throughout history, been able to get away with, like, um being that flamboyant and braggadocious. You talking about people like Muhammad Ali, Deion Sanders, and I can't really think of people who actually was able to pull those type of celebrations off and then um find themselves to be successful. And so if Tyrese Haliburton don't win a ring, not this year, but I mean in the years to come, if he don't win a ring, I think like these type of celebrations won't really they won't really age well. And I don't even think like for Reggie Miller, like this celebration, in my opinion, I don't think it aged well. I think Reggie Miller, you know, he came up short when it came to winning a ring. I think in a chance, I think they lost to the Rockets, the Houston Rockets. I know the Houston Rockets beat the New York Knicks, and I think they beat did they beat the New York? I think, well, I think the Pacers lost to the Rockets. I'm sorry, to the Rockets in the championship game. But and Reggie Miller was a guy who him and Tyrese Halliburton have a lot in common. They seem to be pretty good at annoying their opponents, right? And again, when you annoy your opponents, you just put a bigger, you put a bigger bullseye right on your back. You give these guys, you know, um, you give them bulletin board material. Now, when the Pacers was going at it with New York back in the day, Reggie Miller and Patrick Ewing going at it, you already was going to, those games already was going to be contentious just because of like what was on the line with those guys, right? But then Reggie Miller going back and forth with Spike Lee and some of the stuff that he did, said to Spike Lee and all that stuff. You can't, I just think it took away from the game. And I think that like I said, it didn't age well. Some of the stuff that even Reggie Miller did and said, like you can't really play that stuff, or he don't want you to really bring it back up because it was obscene. Like a gesture one time, like he grabbed his crotch in front of Spike Lee's wife, and so stuff like that. I just think that Reggie Miller just went overboard with some of that stuff, and I don't think it'd be wise for Tyrese Halliburton really to go down that road where these type of celebrations that he do, the front running and stuff that he do. um I just think that those type of things won't age well, number one. And then number two, they'll just make him a bigger target, not only to opposing fans but his fans too. Indiana fans, they want to win a championship. And so I think in order for Tyrese Halliburton to win a championship, he's gonna have to do some things differently than what Reggie Miller did, because what Reggie Miller did wasn't successful. And I like this team. I like the Indiana Pacers team because I like Pascal Siakam. I think he's a very good basketball player. Pascal also he got a championship ring. He got his in Toronto. Then their coach, they got a great coach. The guy Carlisle, Rick Carlisle. I like him. They got balance and depth on his team, and they got experience. I like the guy PJ, or is it PJ or TJ? The Conley, TJ Conley, I think his name is. This guy nice. He really good. I like his game, his mid range game. He is excellent at finding holes in the defense and being able to get his mid range shot off. I mean, this team is great. I just think that as far as Tyrese Haliburton's leadership, he need to really act like he has been there before, and he knows how to really to celebrate and conduct himself, make a great play, and move on to the next play. Have a great game and move on to the next game. And so, but I still think that he's gonna need a ring though in order to, because like when you celebrate like that, people expect you to be able to follow suit and get their team all the way to the get them all the way through the dance and be able to get them a ring. So that's my take on it. Make sure to like and subscribe. And also, don't forget to leave a comment. Let me know. Do you agree? Do you think Tyrese Halliburton really need to win a ring? Not this year, but I think coming up, like he's sooner or later, he's gonna have to get a ring, basically. And with that being said, I'll check you all out in the next video. Peace.